Kiran Rao's Laaptaa Ladies will be India's entry for the Oscars 2025. Joining us now, Mr. Jahnu Barua, the chairman of the jury. So, thank you very much for your time. What made Laaptaa Ladies stand out?
Um, um, we are given 29 films to watch, and with all equal attention, we have watched those films in depth. And the kind of criteria we are given, and that truly, the film which should truly represent India to the Oscars. From all factors, we found that this Laaptaa Ladies that comes to the forefront.
The women empowerment.
Women empower. Yeah, women centric. It's a women centric, but I will not go into the details.
Right.
But it's a fantastic film actually that we. I think it is something which even the Indian audience also they should be proud of. Yeah.
Would India get lucky this time for Oscars?
I hope so, because everyone is hoping that.
Right.
Let's see.
Which are the other films that came close?
On principle, I will not take name.
Right.
Yeah.
How difficult or challenging was this task for the jury?
It is difficult. It is difficult. As I said, that we make largest number of films in the world. To choose one film out of that, it is a difficult process. And on top of that, we do not have a proper system that way. It is very difficult to develop also a system, and how to choose one film. And because being a democratic nation, each one has an equal right. So to enter and all, to make the entries and all. But out of that, that when the package is given to the selection committee,
Right.
and that we try to do the justice to that.
How important for Indian filmmakers to win an Oscar? It's primarily for American films, but now they have one category for foreign films.
In a way, actually, we should not be very much, say, I mean, we should not be concerned that way. Yes, Oscar, of course, is very popular around the world, whole world, and everyone tries to go for that. But in a way, sometimes what happens, it is very English language centric. That also we need to see that somewhere other countries like India, suppose traditionally it's a different kind of tradition, different kind of say a whole lot of languages are there. That way, somewhere it gets goes into backbench. That way, when people try to compare that,
That's right.
So sometimes right film actually doesn't get into that.
Right.
So we make good films, no doubt. But as I said, that to create a system to select the best is also another problem.
Where do Indian films lack when you compare it with Oscar award-winning films?
For a layman, actually, that I would say that if quality-wise, artistically, or say aesthetically, cinematically, that we lack, and we need to admit that, because that the kind of system we follow, sometimes it becomes our hindrance also. But that doesn't mean that we are not making good films. We are making good films, but also the importance the Indian cinema should be getting. That is also something is wrong somewhere.
Okay.
Yeah.
Lastly, do you think when it comes to such shortlisting of Indian films for awards like Oscar, Hindi films, do they automatically get an advantage? Because the criticism is that South Indian films, particularly Tamil films, don't make it.
No, I don't think so. Because see, I look at it a different way. The kind of versatility we have in our country, and that is a big asset. And we need to look at it that way. That so many languages are there, and we should be very proud of that. So each and every, for example, some years ago, that one Assamese film had gone. Ah, and we make very small number of films in Assam, but it has gone. That also happens. That also happens. So that way, I would say that jury, whoever have been in the past or selecting the film, they have been doing their best to select the
But
best.
large numbers only Hindi films make. 34 films in the last so many years.
Yeah. Yes, but these things actually it happens actually I mean it's difficult to create a system to select the best that way. Yeah.
But are is there a bias towards Hindi films? That's my question. Is there a bias towards Hindi films?
No, I don't think so. I don't think so, because see what happens. Earlier also we had there are many. If you go by the number of films we had that had been sent to Oscars and all, quite a number of films from various languages. And only thing is that we maybe we may not be sending the right film, or that way we end up doing the somewhere something goes wrong in our process.
Joining us now, Mr. Subbiah Nallamuthu, a filmmaker, also a jury member. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
What went behind the choosing or the zeroing in of Laaptaa Ladies?
A lot of good films, 29 entries, and finally we managed to bring down to 5. There was a lot of discussion. So finally we all unanimously decided Laaptaa Ladies is the right choice from Indian side. Because in terms of subject, if you see, it's a mix of two fantastic characters. One wants to become a housewife, one wants to become a rebel. And also, I mean, we all decided unanimously that the reason is it works universally. It's not only from India. So that's one reason, because end of the day, our film should win. That's our main motive. So that's what, the final result is Laaptaa Ladies.
Right. You said, I mean, the jury said it represents India well in terms of, but is that the criterion largely looked at, or is it the way the film has been made?
I think this way the film has been made is the main thing. The selection was because of that. So that's the main reason for it. And it's very entertaining. It's informative. It talks about culture. It talks about reality. It's very raw. It's very basic. Very well shot. It's just you can literally enjoy the film. So that's the main reason. Again, hopefully we all felt. End of the day, it's an American award. Universally they should like it. It's not that. Some films are very good. For example, Valai in Tamil is very good. Tangalan, a lot of other films also good. But they're very close, competition. But overall, it starts talk about Indian women issues. So
Which are the top 5?
Tangalan was one, and there is one Valai from Tamil. There are 2 Tamil films. Srikanth is also, everyone liked it. That's the third one. And there's one Undercurrent Malayalam film is also part of it. So that's also again based on two characters. But when compared to that, this one has got more voting, and all the 12 members finally we decided to do this.
Film lovers, filmmakers down south always have this perception, this criticism that these films, Hindi films, often get an advantage when it comes to choosing one film for Oscars like this. How do you, as a jury member, look at that?
That's not true, but I'm from South. Last time there was one Tamil film, they selected it. It's not that. See, it's not that. I mean, it's not that we see only whether it's a good film for in India. We like to see that whether this film is going to work worldwide. It's going to Western audience. Are they going to like it? So that's idea is we need to win this Oscar. So that way, if you see, but I don't think there is no such bias. No, yeah. So there's no bias like that, because it is a, I mean, there are very few, I mean, a lot of good films not entered because there are so many reasons. Maybe they don't have a budget to follow it up later in Oscar. So it's not that. So whatever film we got it in 29, and this is the best.
These are based on the filmmakers applying, or you choose?
Yeah, this is based on the filmmakers who applied. It's not that. There's always a misunderstanding that we all selected the best film in this whole randomly. No, there are 29 films have been applied by the by producers to this particular competition out of the 29. That's why I said lot of very good films. Reason is that maybe they need more budget to follow it up to get into that Oscar winning. So that's one reason.
Oscars is essentially primarily meant for American films. There's only one category for other films from other countries. Is it still worth trying?
Yeah, it is worth because there are 80 films. Out of 80, they're going to select one in this particular category, whatever I know. So there are a lot of other categories for other films, but this is one out of 80. Yes, it's worth. I mean, we hope always we think positively, but it's India. There are a lot of good filmmakers, and I think it's better to try always.
And as a filmmaker, when you look at Hollywood films, what are the areas where Indian cinema is yet to develop or mature?
See, most of the films are made to get this to appeal to the mass. So that's what. At the end of the day, they have to get this money back. And I mean, there's very few mix of both artistically and mass base, which is very very less in our country. And if you start doing only for festival-based films, the chances are less. And sometimes you do. I mean, so one needs to balance it. For films like Laaptaa Ladies has got not mass, but at least the issue everyone likes to watch it. I mean, even India also got a lot of different state, different language. They should like it. And it's a little humor. It's a mix of everything. It's not a mass. But again, it says both. So that way we are lacking in terms of balancing both and make a good content film.
Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you very much.
That was Mr. Subbiah Nallamuthu, a well-known filmmaker and also a member of the jury that selected Kiran Rao's Laaptaa Ladies as India's Oscar entry for 2025. In Chennai with Suresh, Sam Daniel, Find it TV.